Hey everyone, good morning. This is Don Chin. A little bit like 1 minute late on our start time, getting our live stream party together. I appreciate your patience. Those of you that have been waiting, either in the chat or in the green room. I have a couple guests already this morning. Candace is here, Ray's here in our chat. I appreciate that, guys. We kind of had an early kickoff to our launch last night. I was thinking about doing it at midnight, but then my senses were corrected in thinking that if we started at midnight, when we end it, it's going to be midnight here in California. It's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast. So that wasn't very smart of me to do that. So we wound up actually launching last night, I think around 8:30 p.m. Pacific time. And our goal for this campaign is around $1,700. And we're actually pretty close. I just looked at the page this morning. We're at $1,117, and that's 65% of our goal. So what I'm planning on doing today is kind of telling you folks about our comic book project, which is called X-Farce Reloaded. And we've been working on this for the last several months with a team of a dozen different creators. Some of these creators will be online with me today and kind of be able to introduce themselves to you. And they're available for work. So if you're looking for an artist to do something for you, if you have a project in the works, you can contact them directly and they'll do a professional job for you. So my agenda today is to have every 15 minutes, we're going to have a drawing for comic books that are, it'll be a backer only drawing. So if you have gone to xfarce.com or Indiegogo and you have actually physically backed our campaign, you can actually participate in this comic book drawing. So all you have to do is I'll count down from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And if you're the first person to put your backer number in the chat, I'll make a note that when the books are ready to ship, you'll get these extra vintage parody press books included with your package. So kind of a cool freebie. These books are, they're probably worth $10 a piece. And so we're going to do 4 different drawings for comic books. And then actually every other 15 minutes, we're going to have an auction for original sketches. And we have a great amount of great artists coming in. And so the sketch auctions will go for like 5 minutes. And whoever's the highest bidder in the chat is the one that's going to get the sketches. And we're going to start the sketches off at a very reasonable $5. And so after that, if you win the sketch, you'll leave me your contact information. I'll get a hold of you and we can arrange the payment. And shipping and handling will be like $5. So if you wind up buying multiple sketches, it'll just be $5 for as many sketches as you win. So I'm going to try to round robin the guests today as far as who gets to show their sketches and so forth. But I'm going to invite a couple guys into the chat that have been very great for us. Michael Grassi is here. Hey, Michael.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you, bro. Let me see. Are you?
Hold on 1 second. Let me.
Michael's in New York. Do we have you?
Can you hear me now?
Hi, Candace. I'll have to get back to you for the Canadian shipping.
I know I lost you. Give me
too
one
much
second.
more. And let's see if Dolphin's working.
Hey, good morning. Happy New Year.
Dolphin, I can't hear you either.
Oh, no.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Maybe I had you guys on mute.
Let me try a different microphone.
I can hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Michael? Is he still figuring?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Hey, guys.
All right. Hi, good morning.
Hi, how you doing?
Michael and Dolphin are my awesome guys from the East Coast.
Thank you.
And Dolphin he's been the hardest worker on this project.
Oh, stop it.
He's been digitally coloring over 30 pages since we started, which is not easy, and done a bang-up job. Dolphin,
Oh, thank you.
Appreciate you. Dolphin has been asked to color, making comic book pages look like they're from the 60s, in the 90s, and then current, and you've done an awesome job, and I'm sure we'll show some of the fans your
Thank you.
work.
Thank
Michael is you come with an animation background, right, Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. So we've got a story in the X-Farce Reloaded where we ask, what if mutants were, if other companies had mutants besides Marvel Comics? And so in that story, we kind of put the X-Men, like, what if they were Disney characters? What if they were with Archie? And Dolphin comes from a ElfQuest background.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't realize this, but Dolphin has the word elf in it.
Yeah, that was the joke when I first started working there. Like, that's Richard pointed that out, and then Wendy was like, "Oh, you're elf. That's in your name. Like, this is made for you." Like, okay.
Yeah.
How many issues did you wind up drawing?
We were doing the spin-off titles for them back in the mid-90s. So Wendy was in California pitching, I guess, her script for an ElfQuest movie. And while she was there, Richard was handling all of us. It was me, Barry Blair, Steve Blevins, a lot of other artists that came aboard, and we were doing the spin-offs. So we were doing like Blood of 10 Chiefs, which is I was penciling Blood of 10 Chiefs. I was penciling a series called The Rebels, which was like a science fiction series, which is no relation to Star Wars. And I would do like some other backups, like Rogue's Curse, Two Spear was a miniseries I did for them. So
pretty much like every month you were doing an elf book?
Yeah, for an entire year I was doing 2 books a month. I was penciling 2 books a month.
Wow.
Well, I mean, the inkers were great on the book, so they really helped out. Like I would always say, because usually if it's a science fiction book, which was The Rebels, if I couldn't really finish a scene, like let's say space, I would just step aside. Please put space in the what the spaceships are. Or if it's like a techno wall, like I would draw like some dials and screens and diagrams, and I would say, could you beef it up a little? And the Charles Barnett was my inker then, and he was a student of Sinnott, Joe Sinnott,
Nice.
and so he gave that crisp look to my work, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then and then of course in Blood of 10 Chiefs you had a lot of leaves and trees, and that inker helped out with putting in like a lot more detail to that as well.
So if people want to buy your artwork, they can go to your website, right?
I've sold a lot of all of my ElfQuest stuff. So I mean, if you want to get new stuff, I can draw you some new stuff. I can digitally draw stuff for you. I have a website called Custom Comic Gifts, which I do caricatures of people as their famous characters, like Spider-Man or Hulk or whatever. So
what I probably will do for this first half hour is in about 5 minutes, I'm going to have the very first comic book backer drawing. Okay. And at 9:30, I was going to auction off one of your sketches today. Okay. So why don't we kind of wet the whistle of our viewers, and I will. Do you guys have a time constraint today? Are you able to stay for a while, or? I can stay for a bit.
Okay. I can stay the whole time if you want.
Okay. Thanks, Michael. So why don't we, Dolphin? I know you have a little girl that's probably going to.
She'll make a guest appearance sooner or later, but right now
she's super cute. Why don't we make yours the first comic book sketch auction? Sure. So the way
I don't have it. I don't have it available. I have it on my phone. I took pictures of it on my phone, so I don't know if you have it. If you can.
Yeah, I downloaded them. So why don't we make it the because this is an X-Farce show. Okay. I will try to share the screen on what you sent me here.
And you guys are. I just want to say, you guys look really clean cut. I feel a little scruffy, so I apologize for my appearance.
I mean, come on, man.
Well, you have a well trimmed beard, Mr. Gracia. You shouldn't complain. And Don's just clean shaven completely, and he looks younger than he is.
I did shave with a straight razor yesterday, so
nice.
And I have my dress shirt on. I didn't want to look too scruffy for this
And-
rollout.
And
So
I'm sorry if I am. So
oh no, I like it, man. You got the COVID, shut in look, which everybody does.
it's like Mad Max out there. I'm gonna tell you, it's New York. What do you want?
So Dolphin, what I'll do is I'll have to pull up the image
Okay.
before we do the auction. But folks,
Understood.
I will preview. I think I'm going to do a tangerine
Okay.
sketch that Dolphin did at 9:30. So what'll happen is I'll show the artwork, and for 5 minutes we'll talk with Dolphin while you guys are hashing it out in the chat on who gets the highest bid. So we are starting out these sketches at a measly $5, including Michael's sketches, Bill Mouse, who's in our waiting room. I'm going to bring Bill in here and just,
Oh, great.
yeah, Bill's,
Let's see, Bill's in.
Billy Mouse. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
There's a huge delay between my iPad and the phone and my other screen, so it's I think I have to just look this way.
It's not too bad, buddy.
How
How are
you guys
you?
doing?
Right there.
Good. How's life in
I'm
Virginia?
doing pretty good. Your audio is breaking up a lot. Life in Virginia is good. It's raining a lot, but it doesn't matter because all of us work inside. So
Yeah, that's true.
there's a part of I'm sure there's a part of our lives that are really not that different since the lockdowns. It's more like sort of like letting everybody else have a peek into our lives because we're the ones trapped in the studio all the time. So now everybody else is trapped at home. So I guess they're probably a little freaked out because they're experiencing a little bit of what we experience.
Right. So you're working on a Near X crowdfunding right now, right? Near X.
We got we didn't get COVID, but we got this really horrible flu. My dad got a flu shot, and about a week later he came down with a serious flu, and gave it to the rest of us. So I lost about a month and a half working on that book. So it's a little bit late. We're about a week and a half out from sending it to the printer, and yeah, so it's at least it's I see the light at the end of the tunnel. So that was the latest one. It was a Near X Zombies versus Cheerleaders crossover that we did
Gotcha.
with Fifinity Productions. Yeah.
Gotcha. Are you on a
which you might know from like all trading cards and stuff. Yeah.
Are you on a deadline today that we need to can you stay for a little while, or do you need to kind of get back to the drawing board?
I might be in and out. I might cut out for a little bit just for like check on Cat and this and that. But I will be back. It's like, so if I leave, I'll be back. I plan to be here for the whole thing.
Okay. Let me just play with this software and see what happens when I.
There's a crazy delay.
Oh, there's me, and then because my head was getting chopped off by our custom X-Farce launch party banner that my wife so lovingly did. So I've not seen what happens when I switch us around like that.
Oh yeah, all I see is your mouth.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's Don Anonymous.
Okay, so it is 9:15, and I described at the top of the show, Bill, I'm going to have an auction every 15 minutes for a sketch, and then I'm also going to do a backer comic book giveaway. So last night I kind of previewed this, the backer comic book auction, and it went over really well. There was a lady who stayed. I think it was you, Candace. Candace is in our chat. She said, "Good morning, Bill." And she asked you a question. Will it be coming to Indiegogo? You're any near a book coming to Indiegogo in the future? Or?
No, unfortunately, it's not coming to Indiegogo. The one that we just did that's a little bit late going to the printer right now. That was a regular Kickstarter. I do have a new Near X Kickstarter that's going to be coming out close to. It's actually the day before my birthday. Later this month on the 25th, and that's going to be Near X Reborn. And the focus of that Kickstarter is just the next issue of that series for number 2.
Okay.
But there's going to be a lot more to it. I think what we're going to do with that Kickstarter is actually offer the 3-issue miniseries complete as something that we're offering in that Kickstarter, and that's from Committed Comics. They're my regular direct market publisher for things like that.
Okay.
And I also do like studio editions on my own on the side that have different content, different covers, that sort of thing. But this is what the Kickstarter that's coming up is about later in the month. It's promoting issue number 2, but we're also offering issue number 1. And then since the Kickstarter, the campaign will run for 30 days anyway, I'll actually be working on issue number 3, and it'll be ready to go and ship to, from the printer and stuff like it is over. So we're actually going to be offering the 3 issues together as one set. People can buy, they can buy each individual issue if they want, but if they just wanted to get the whole thing all together, they could, instead of piecemealing it out. So that should be.
Sorry, babe, we have a little bit of audio kind of popping and lag with you. So I'll try to, I'm not sure how to correct that.
Yeah, my audio is pretty bad. I think my Wi-Fi, my Wi-Fi on this end is kind of weak.
Okay.
My
Don't worry
AirPort died, and I'm just running off of my Verizon modem, so it's trash.
I like this software. I didn't know I can just move you guys around just with my mouse. So I'm sorry for the crowd if you guys were getting like these different views of us that I wasn't intending, but now I see that I can just kind of like Hollywood Squares. I can move. Like, here's Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hello.
There's
Michael
Dolphin.
Takes the center. Oh, I'll take the center square.
Yeah, center square. I feel like I have power.
Keep me small because my face is for radio, not for YouTube.
Oh, no, you're
It's,
a handsome guy.
I don't know about that. That's why I go by this more than I go by my face.
For you guys in the chat, let's do this. So the very first, here we go.
What we got?
So the backer drawing today, the very first one. So if you folks have already backed the book, you will get a backer number on Indiegogo. So all you need to do is when the countdown starts, is after I've counted down from 5 to 1, you put in your backer number in the chats, and then I'll make a note of that. So then when we actually go to fulfill the comic book, these babies will be slipped inside your already nice package of X-Farce Reloaded comic books. So if you haven't signed up yet, all you need to do is go to xfarce.com or go to our Indiegogo page. I'll put a little banner here that, let's see here. Yeah, so it's kind of scrolling there along the bottom. Bill, let me take off your little promo. Every time I bring an artist on, I will give you their contact info, and we'll talk about kind of what they're up to and how they enjoyed working on this book. So anyways, I'll make this quick, guys. We got from the 90s a copy of Bloody Hot. This is weird because when you're showing on the camera, it's
a little glary.
Dorkier
Images is an Image Comics
you got that shine. Yeah, you almost have to pull it out of the bag. But even then, the cover, the paper stock is shiny too. So
this is Bill Mouse's.
Double shiny. It's got double the shine.
Yeah, it's got like
UV. We wipe all of our comics with lemon pledge.
This is like a mint condition book from the.
That's shiny, man. This is from what, 92, 93?
93.
Wow.
So you get 3 spoofs in one. Bill Mouse pokes fun at the Max, Blood Wolf, and Deathstroke. So this is a black and white vintage parody press book that you can get. Because Bill's in Virginia, I don't have a signed copy of this by Bill, but if folks want this signed by me, I'm happy to do that. And then this is our spoof of Bloodshot called Bloody Hot. And he's got like an air conditioner on him. He's very, this is obviously a spoof of Valiant's Bloodshot. And we kind of made the book look like Bloodshot on the front. It's not actually chromium, but it's got like a metallic red ink on it, which we thought was fun. And then Kurt Hathaway, our letterer supreme, did the Bloodshot logo, but made it Bloody Hot, and it looks just like Valiant's logo. But one thing I thought was funny on this book is that when Valiant released it, they just put the logo like in a white rectangle at the top, which is, at the time, it wasn't really graphically. I guess
aesthetic.
Yeah, I mean, it works, but anyway, so Guys, I'm going to count down from 5. And so in the chat, just go ahead and put in your backer number. I don't know if I'm going to limit the number of winners, like one backer gets, one a day. Because last night, Candace in the chat cleaned up. She won like 3 out of the 4.
Wow, Candace.
Yeah, she's right on it.
Wow.
I think the other competitors that were in the chat they might have been under the influence of alcohol. So she had an advantage. So here we go. This is the very first comic auction, not auction, but giveaway. So backers, start your engines. I'm counting down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Put in your number. And we'll wait for the slight delay. I think Candace is going to win because she's. Oh, actually, Ray backed. Ray,
Alex Trebek.
My mom. Oh, Kelly Sue DeChronic. Thank you, Kelly Sue. I appreciate it. Number 16, you won. So I'll make a note in my little sketch pad here. So, Bloody Hot and Dorkier go to number 16. We have 2 ladies. Looks like they're battling it out.
Uh-oh.
It's like a Bill Mouse.
What was that?
Yeah. All right.
I want that book. No, give it to me.
It's 9:23. I'm going to add another friend of ours into the stream, and that would be Mr. Mike Barron. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
You. Can you hear us, Mike?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, beautiful.
Mike is our veteran, esteemed writer hailing from Colorado, originally from Wisconsin. And Mike is a longtime veteran of comics. He's worked since would you say 70s, Mike, or 80s?
From the 1920s, Don. I've been active in the comic scene.
So Mike is actually contributing a story to our X-Men spoof called Professor X Auditions. And it's hilarious. It's a 3-pager. It's basically showing like what if the X-Men had to audition people off the street in case, their members were dwindling. And so
or dying.
Right
when they come back.
Actually, I think he's auditioning because one of the X-Farce people named Hunger James ate himself. So
And he turned inside out.
Exactly.
Be good.
Literally skin and bones.
Hey guys,
Bones,
I'm gonna go ahead and show the trailer for our campaign.
oh yeah.
And then it'll be probably close to 9:30, and we're gonna do like our first sketch. Actually, Dolphin, did you say you don't have the sketches with you?
I have them physically, but I mean, if you want to have something nice and clean and close up, I would just say just use the photographs I sent because
Okay.
I'll just be putting up a sheet of paper up, and I wouldn't.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'll play the trailer, and while the trailer plays, I'll locate
Okay.
the tangerine thing on my desktop and try to show it to you guys. So,
Very sorry, Don.
oh, that's okay. No problem, guys.
We will be watching.
We're learning as we go.
As we go, yes.
All right.
This is all new to me.
You guys get the long 2-minute X-Cons trailer. X-Farce.
My name is Professor Baldi, and I run a school for juvenile delinquents. But not just any delinquents. Mine are specially gifted. You might even call them mutants. Trust a few reformed ex-cons. Tangerine.
Am I the apple of your eye, Bubba?
Jeannie Gray. Beastie Boy. Oh, everybody dance now. Snow Cone.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
And their friends from X-Farce. Cable TV.
Eat remote control, frog face.
Goffarel. Meow. Dominoes.
This book has just the right amount of cheese.
And introducing the Newt Mutants. Beware the rest. Magneto. Mistress Piggy. And not at all breaking the fourth wall. Cesspool. Now, Heritage Press Comics is back with X-Farce Reloaded #1. Don't miss this extraordinary comics extravaganza with 7 full color stories of marvelous mutant mayhem. Back this book today for awesome variant covers and original artwork tiers. 48 pages of action and hilarious hijinks by some of comics' funniest talents. Heritage Press, making the world laugh again. Only on Indiegogo.
Cool. Did you guys enjoy that?
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I'm not telling you, you gotta trademark that catchphrase, making the world laugh again.
Yeah.
Underneath the banner. With
It's
TM. Boom.
Yeah. I think that we will use that as our motto and
Yes.
look into trademarking that. We'll see. So let's see. It's 9:28. I did locate the sketch. Hey, Mike,
okay.
are you on a limited time schedule, my friend?
I don't know.
Do you have a football game to watch? That's probably the main.
Yeah, the games are on at 2, though. Both the Packers and trying to show you this dog. There, do you see the dog? The Packers and the Broncos are playing at the same time. All right. I just want you to see that. I don't know why.
So how much beer did he have?
How many dogs?
How many beers did he have? He passed out like that.
Freddie.
Well, I wanted to welcome Bill back into the stream, and also our another esteemed guest, Mr. Keith Gleason. Hi, Keith.
Hey guys. Hey guys,
Hi,
how's
Keith.
it going?
Nice
Hello.
to meet you.
Great. Keith is a writer.
Experiencing technical and dog difficulties. So that's why you'll see me. That's why you'll see me pop out every once in a while. If you see me slide out from the screen, that's because he's probably trying to eat something on the floor that he really shouldn't. So I'm saving his life while trying to sell things.
All right.
You're a good man.
Awesome. Okay, so what we're doing now, guys, for Keith and Mike, who kind of came in late, I'm doing an auction for sketches every half hour, and then every other 15 minutes, we're giving away some comic books to our backers. So on the auction, you don't have to be a backer to bid on these. So if you are not a backer, all I need is you to put in your dollar amount. And then when my timer goes off in 5 minutes, whoever the high bidder is on the piece will be the one that wins it. So like I said, we're starting the bidding off at $5, and then shipping and handling will be $5. So it's pretty reasonable artwork. What's that?
Is a bargain.
It's a
What is a
bargain.
bargain?
What a bargain. All right. So
Deal.
Hey,
I'm gonna share
that's my
what
Sunday special.
I'm gonna share this first sketch from Dolphin. Can you see that? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So that's
Yes.
this is 8.5 by 11. Did you do this with a marker, Dolphin?
Yeah, I did all the sketches. I did 6 sketches this morning with a Sharpie and copy paper.
Let me take the launch banner off so people can see this without the.
All right. Well, it just says Tangerine, so yeah, it's a quickie. It's one of those quickie sketches you do at a convention for like luck,
Okay.
whatever you can.
Sometimes those are the best though. I love those. Those are awesome.
Thank you.
If you're in the chat and you want to start bidding on this, I'm going to start a timer for 5 minutes. And so when my timer goes off, whoever has bid the most is going to get this beautiful piece by Dolphin. So Dolphin, tell me a little bit about yourself. Did you enjoy working on this book, or was it just a lot of learning and trial by error?
Well, this was my first coloring job. So, I knew how to color. It was just a lot of stuff. And especially, I had the original copy. So I was looking through to see what I can put in. And I actually put in a lot of Easter eggs in the story. So you'll be seeing things like impact areas where 8-Ball hit the wall, and there's a scene where Tonto's walking away from a room that says women's underwear. And it's an empty area, but I actually put in shadows of sexy girls in there. So I mean, no, it's okay. It's G-rated. Don't worry, it's G-rated. But I mean, it was a fun project to work on, and also doing the stories in different eras. Like the X-Farce stories, I did them like as bright and as vivid as like the '90s comics. Like, you know, back in those days, you know, Image and Marvel suddenly realized, oh, this is a thing called Photoshop. We can add lens flares and add, you know, gradients and halftones and everything.
Right.
So that was the look and feel that I wanted for that segment. And of course, the X-Con story, I did it in that yellowed paper. You know, I used layers, so I used yellow paper layers and as a transparency, and I did everything in a halftone effect to see all the dots when we used to read comics as a kid. So all those dot patterns. And the last story, which was the X auditions, I kind of left it as is, just really flat, bright colors. That's what a common comic would look like. And of course, the story that Michael and I are working on, we're going to have, you know, it will have that cartoony feel, that cartoony look and feel in it. So we're still working on that one. That's the last 3 pages that we got to finish.
Do you guys physically like have met each other, or I mean, do you guys live fairly close to one another, or are you kind of far away?
Michael and I live in New York, and we've met each other in conventions.
Yeah. But we're only about maybe 25 minutes, but because of COVID, we don't see each other.
If you want to live,
yeah, exactly.
not die.
Right.
Yeah. But
So if people want to reach you, Dolphin, I put up. This is like your @Dolphin Cartoons. That's your Instagram and Twitter. Is that correct?
Twitter, Instagram. You can see. I mean, if you just type in Dolphin Baral Cartoons or Dolphin Baral and that spelling, you'll see. If you see this logo here, it's mine. So you know it's definitely me. So you can reach me there. I also have a caricature business on the side, which is customcomicsgifts.com. And I do caricatures of people in, you know, like imagine cosplay but drawn. So I'll draw you as Spider-Man or Wonder Woman or you know, whoever you like. You know, it could be like an anniversary gift between you and your wife, or a birthday gift for your favorite teacher. I've actually been asked to do caricatures of my friends' pets. So, you know, I did a Mr. Fantastic version of a wiener dog for one of my friends. So it's like he's a stretchy wiener dog. But I mean, you know, this is what I've been doing lately. I've been out of comics for a bit, but this is my jaunt back. Thank you again for the opportunity, Don.
You're welcome.
You giving me the chance to come back into the folds of comics again.
Yeah, I'm so glad we kept in touch online for so long. Dolphin worked on Stargate.
I forgot about that.
We were in the 1996.
Yes. And
we were the first licensed company to do Stargate with Entity Comics, and Dolphin came in and did a lot of color work on the.
I also penciled. I penciled 2, 3, and 4. Yeah,
you came in and kind of saved our bacon on that one.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah, we have about a minute left in this auction for Tangerine, so I'll go to the comments. And Candace B is at $5 right now. She's the winning bid at this point, and we've got less than 50 seconds left to go. Dolphin, you have like your favorite X-Man or X-Farce character that you?
It'd probably be Cesspool at this time, because I had fun just drawing all the noxious gases around him.
Yeah, that's great. You did a good job on him. It's
thank you.
Kind of like that almost like a radioactive green.
Yeah, it's. I mean, if you ever pictured what a really bad fart would be, you figure it's like a neon green. But you know, I mean, I was actually toying around with the idea of just having like fart sounds just thrown in the background, but I pulled back on that. So.
Yeah. Well, one of our stretch goals, if we hit 50,000, is to have a cesspool whoopee cushion. So we'll see. We have 30 days left. Ray, thank you for posting Dolphin's customcomicgifts.com.
Oh, thank you.
If you folks want to go visit that, you can see what Dolphin's got. I think my timer went off, but there was no sound. So I think if Candace is the winner, she got Tangerine for $5. So I'll make
congratulations, Candace.
All right.
Hey, Don.
Yes.
I am going to leave the rooms for a second because I'm going to get a different location that might be closer to this trashy Wi-Fi I have.
Okay, no worries. Thank
Because
you.
trust me, the problem is completely on my side. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I just don't want you to think I like left for the border.
No worries. No worries.
I'm taking my $5 and I'm out of here.
I have to go back to sleep.
Oh no.
You have to go back to sleep, Mike. Okay. Well, before you leave, I'm going to
All
put
right.
in the top here. Why don't you tell us, Mike, what you've got going on? I know you've got a lot of different campaigns going on besides X-Farce.
Florida Man is about wrapped up, and we should be fulfilling in February. We're very excited about that. Right now, the campaign, one campaign that's open is Nexus, Lone Star, Bigfoot Bill. It's on both Indiegogo and Kickstart. I wrote it. Matthew Weldon is illustrating it. It's a magnificent book. It's 48 pages long, and it's about how Nexus teams up with Lone Star and Bigfoot Bill to stop Gormondo from consuming the earth. And when people say, well, Bigfoot Bill, isn't he a cartoon character? Well, they're all cartoon characters. And longtime readers of Nexus know that he rubs elbows with all sorts of bizarre characters, including many of the characters the dude originally created for Nexus, which were based on Dr. Seuss designs. And those are fairly evident.
Right.
But we got a stand-up comedian who's some kind of lizard called Clone Zone. So it's not an abrupt change for Nexus to hang out with Bigfoot Bill. And if you guys are familiar with Doug Tenople's character, it's really fun. And Doug Tenople is a superb draftsman. He sent me his books. Yeah, that's one of the covers. I'm not sure who did that cover, but Mike S. Miller has done another one, and then Kelsey Shannon did one as well, and they're all beautiful. That might be the Matt Weldon cover, and it's a good example of what his art is going to look like.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, I think that's Matt's.
Yeah,
This
awesome.
is Elliot Fernandez, right? This one.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Nexus in the middle.
Must
So
have-
yeah,
that's
folks,
great.
if you've got some, extra spending cash, if you haven't spent it all for Christmas, please jump on to Indiegogo and back X-Farce and Monster Hunt. I backed this book as well.
Thanks, Don.
Yeah, I've been a big Nexus fan from the 80s, and obviously Badger is another kung fu.
Oh yeah.
Well, we're going to be shipping the Badger novel next month.
Awesome.
That campaign is over, but I will have copies.
Awesome. So, Mike, if people want to get a hold of you, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to put your contact info in a pre-made stream. But if people want to reach you, what would be the best way to reach you? You have a website or a?
I have a website, www.bloodyredbaron.com. I'm on Twitter as @BloodyRedBaron, and that's probably the best way to reach me. I'm on Facebook as Mike Baron Author and Michael A. Baron. I'm on Instagram too as Mike Baron. And the best way to reach me is through my Mike Baron Facebook page or else on Twitter @BloodyRedBaron.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you coming by.
Thanks, Don.
Did you have any thoughts about your story that you want to share that people might not know, or do you have a favorite X-Man? Or
It's very funny.
it's very funny. Good comment there, Mike. All right.
See you, Mike.
We've got it's 9:41 right now, my time. So in about 4 minutes, we're going to do another comic book giveaway to our backers. So if you folks are wanting to participate in that, all you got to do is go to xfarce.com, buy one of our books, and then you'll get a backer number, and then you can get extra freebie comics for absolutely no extra charge, which is pretty fun. So we're about $1,200 on our campaign right now, guys, and our goal is about $1,700. So we may hit our goal today, which would be great. And we're going for 30 days on this initial campaign. We have Keith Gleason in our audience. Keith,
Hey,
how are you?
How's it going?
Great, buddy. Keith has been a crowdfunding veteran for a while, right?
I'm maybe not a veteran, but I've done 3 and they've all been successful, so that's good. 2 Kickstarters and 1 Indiegogo.
Okay. So would you say you want to go back to like one over the other, or do both, or?
Having done both, I find Indiegogo to be a better platform. And I mean, I know it has the stigma on it, but like, all that aside, I think there's a lot more advantages using Indiegogo over Kickstarter. The biggest one being when people back you, they're charged right away, versus with Kickstarter, they don't charge the person's card until after the campaign finishes. And I've found in the past that once the campaign finishes, all of a sudden that card isn't good, and Kickstarter has to go chase the person for the money. And so you sometimes end up losing backers because of that. Like you'll lose a few bucks that way. That's one of the things I like about Indiegogo. They charge you right then and there, and you know what I mean? It's all done. And the only way they can, they can request a refund, but it's it's better than the crowdfunder trying to chase them for the money,
Yeah. I put down a website, Hero Envy. Is that where people can buy your books?
Yeah, that's my home website. It has most of my comics on there. And I think you can get all the Mighty Mascot stuff on there as well.
Nice. Do you have a page from X-Farce you want to show that Anton and?
Yeah. Do you want to share your screen, or do you want to share mine? Or
I'll probably have you share yours, and then at 9:45 in a few minutes, I'm going to do the second comic book giveaway. So
okay, great. Let me pull it up real quick here. I didn't have it ready.
That's all right. No worries.
I'll have it ready in 2 seconds here. Give me 1 sec.
And then Michael, you'll be our next giveaway sketches. And if you want to share, will you be able to share it or hold it up?
Oh, I can hold it up.
Okay.
But we'll do the one first that I sent you.
Okay.
So if you want to share that, you can however you want to work it.
Okay, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Mike's a pro. I'm sorry. I usually just put up a piece of paper and that's all my technology. It's my technology level. Tech level 0.
So,
all right. So here, let me share my screen with you here.
Yeah, maybe you can kind of explain it a little bit. Well, we'll do the drawing after Keith does his thing. So
okay.
There.
Okay, so so I don't know if you guys are familiar with the new status quo with X-Men, but I'm my story is a 5-page story making fun of Jonathan Hickman's House of X and Powers of X.
Okay.
And anyone who's read it knows that there's like, especially in the earlier issues, there's a framing sequence with Charles Xavier and Moira McTaggart talking on a park bench during a fair, like a street fair. And so that's how I framed my 5-page story, is them just talking about, the craziness. So a lot of the jokes are how, if anyone's ever read Jonathan Hickman, he is a great writer, and I really like his stuff a lot, but you have to read his stuff like 10 times because it's like so overly complicated. I mean, it's genius, but it's overly complicated. So that's part of what the joke is on my story, is just how overcomplicated he made the X-Men for no reason, basically.
It's beautifully
and so
drawn.
then, what's that?
It's beautifully drawn. I like the
oh, thanks. Yeah, this is Ian Warianto. And I don't have the colors yet, but Anton and Ian are my art team for the book I do for Alterna Comics called Mighty Mascots.
Oh yeah. Great book.
Oh, okay, you familiar with that?
I'm familiar. Yeah, I remember that.
Thanks.
Don and I were talking about some of the titles there, and that was one of them that he really talked about the most.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. I have a lot of fun doing that comic.
Great. So
Go ahead.
This is great. Nice.
Yeah. So this is.
No, sorry.
I had a laugh. Professor Baldi from the X-Cons for this, and then this character is Moira McMorbid. So that's like a new creation for the X-Farce universe. So, and she's going to be sort of like Moira McTaggart, but more goth and like dour, basically. So
very emo.
Very emo, yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So yeah, this has been a lot of fun to draw and just kind of stretch like your comedy muscle a little bit,
Cool. Really nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
These guys are from Indonesia, right? Your art team?
Indonesia, yeah. I found them through Facebook, actually. When I was starting to do Mighty Mascots, I was looking for an art team, and I put an ad on a Facebook group, and I had about 40 to 50 submissions. And Ian kind of came in at the last minute, and he was a little more expensive than everybody else, but I thought the artwork was perfect. So I definitely had to have him as my creative team. So, and then he brought on Anton. He suggested Anton because I guess them two work together pretty closely. So it was just a match made in heaven, I guess,
Awesome.
It's beautiful work.
Oh, thanks.
I can't wait to see the colors to it.
Yeah, no, I can't wait till either. I can't wait to see it all completed.
So guys, it's like almost not, it was a little past 9:45, but I promised our chat that we'd be doing our second drawing. So this is for the last Parody Press comics we ever did was in 2007. And we parodied the NBC TV show Heroes with a book called Hewoes, Hewoes. And Bill Mouse was our
look, I'm back. I can see it.
Artist writer on these two books. So they're two variant covers. So the interior contents are the same on both, but
you should make yourself
what's that?
Make yourself bigger, Don, so we can see the images better.
Let's see here.
You're gonna come really close.
There you go.
Those two covers will make one big image too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah.
Wow.
Is a wraparound. Nice. Bill colored these.
Nice.
Back in the day. Did you do all like the interior tones with like Photoshop, Bill?
No. Yeah, I think we did. Yep. Yeah, we did.
Yes. So kind of
that's when we're still getting used to Photoshop. Photoshop was when we started, Photoshop wasn't even out. We were using like stone tablets and stuff.
Shadow puppets, stone tablets.
Like yeah. I remember like Doom came out and like Descent, like some like PC games like that. Those were the things that were coming out when we first started. And I remember that we were bragging about the fact that we had so much memory on those remember those big SideQuest discs?
Oh, SideQuest. Holy crap. I remember those.
Those things were like, 8 megs. Amazing.
Ooh.
This used to take up a whole room.
Oh my god!
Which, by the way,
I don't even know what you guys are talking about. But it sounds hilarious.
So, Bill, you went like I think this looked like more Mad Magazine than anything else we did because it kind of has that, that black and white parody feel, like the movie parodies that Mad would do. You had
plus we did square word balloons because that was
right.
When I was growing up as a kid. Crack Magazine was actually my jam. That was actually what got me into drawing interior like sequential art because like John Severin was like he was my guy. That was when I was growing up. He was the guy that inspired me to. Granted, he was drawing like parodies of the stuff I was watching as a kid. Knight Rider and all that stuff. So that's what got me into it. So doing square balloons was like my chance to honor John Severin.
Oh, nice.
I wanted to show you guys. This is the piece of artwork that Bill did for our new X-Farce book, and there's a homage to Cracked. Let's see if I can.
There you go.
Right there.
There's a homage to Cracked magazine on cable TV's costume.
Not just any issue.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's my first. That was my first published work was in Cracked number 200. So Bill actually gets issue number 200 on there. But I have a special treat for our audience. I'm going to be doing the drawing in just a few minutes for the heroes number 1 and 2. So if you're a backer, you can get yourself ready. But we have a little bit of crackling in the background. Does someone need to mute? Someone eating?
No. Let me see if it's me. Hang on. Let me mute myself.
No, I hear the cracking. But it's only when you're talking. It's kind of like.
Is it my mic? Let me check. Make sure I don't. Is it still me? I'm not moving. Look, no hands, guys.
It went away.
It went away. Whatever you did.
All right.
Okay.
So
I was even turning my mic on and off just to make sure it wasn't feedback from me or something. But I didn't see anything. I turned it off and it was still doing it.
All right. Well, folks, I have a little treat for you to kind of promote Heroes. Sounds like keyboarding.
Yeah, it could be like someone typing or something.
We should all do it together.
Hunt and peck. All right.
Exactly.
So I'm going to share.
Watch. Look.
We did it. We did a trailer. You know, I just showed you guys the X-Farce trailer, but we actually did a trailer for Heroes back in the day, like in 2007. So I have man. It's like a phantom pecker in there. Something's going on. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the Heroes.
For thousands of years, human beings have shared the same basic traits. But all that is about to change. All over the world, ordinary people are discovering extraordinary abilities.
I'm Claire Bennet, and I have the power to regenerate and heal from just about any injury, which comes in handy because I'm blonde and super clumsy. Whoa!
I came here to tell you about my flying dream. Seriously, I even made these totally bad-looking wings. Maybe I can, I don't know, be like a flying guy. Lovely. You see this? I painted this over 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so?
So guess what I had for lunch today? Go ahead. Guess. I mean, really, how could I have known that? I've been hearing voices in my head. I'm hearing people's thoughts. The guy we're looking for is named Styler.
Wait, how did you know?
No, I don't think anybody cares about your black roots. And your shoes are fine, really.
Man, you're irritating. I'm scared, Mommy. I promise I won't let anything happen to you for Micah. Mommy went and bought a lot of cool stuff from that home shopping channel, and now they aim to collect.
Open up! The world needs them. Their time has come.
Yeah, so that was like 13 years ago.
Wow.
Did that, and we had a lot of fun with that project, right, Bill?
We did.
All right. All right. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do. Okay. Ray says, set my playback speed to 2x to get caught up in sync for the giveaway. I'm not sure how to do that, Ray. I'll have to talk to you after the show and figure that out. I've only had this program for like a week, so I'm kind of winging it. but I still hear the typing, guys.
Don, it's probably in your settings. If you go to your cam mic settings, probably.
Yeah.
And go to audio, there might be a section in there. It's been a while since I've had to go in and fix anything, but.
All right. I have an external mic that I'm using. Maybe if I use internal mic, it will go away.
If your mic is USB, that could happen. If it's 3.5 that you plug in, you shouldn't have that issue.
Yeah, I've been using this mic like for the last week,
Mm-hmm.
and I have not ever heard the phantom typing noise, so I'm not sure.
And yeah, I do a lot on StreamYard. It also could be if someone's watching from their phone or their iPad. It could be, especially if it's plugged in, it could be getting hot and it's giving feedback.
I see.
If someone's using it to stream with.
Bill, is your phone on fire?
Let me feel the phone. Let me feel the phone. It's not on fire yet. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
oops! Oh no, we lost him.
Still left.
Well, that was it. I don't hear it anymore.
Yeah, it's clean. Oh boy.
He's the Phantom Pecker. We'll have to nickname him.
J'accuse Bill.
All right, so guys, I'm sorry I ran late on the drawing. So Chad, if you're still paying attention, I'm going to count down from 5 to 0 and put in your backer number, and you will win the Heroes 2 issues. Bill,
how did that do for you,
Right.
Don?
So when I dropped out, did it get any better?
Yeah, it did.
I take that personally. Let me see if I can get rid of my mic and.
I said you were the Phantom Pecker.
Yeah, because my other headphones ran out of juice.
All right, chat. So here we go. Counting down. Let's go here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter your backer number for these beautiful comics.
That's the German 3
by Bill Mouse.
It's fine.
The other looks odd.
Don, out of curiosity, how did those do for you initially when you released them?
I think we sold around like 7,000.
Yeah, it's just the time.
Yeah, I mean it was decent. Our old parody press books, it would not be uncommon like in the 90s to get a parody that sold like 20,000, 30,000 copies.
Mm-hmm.
And the market kind of oversaturated in the late 90s, and when like Marvel had to file for bankruptcy and all the stores kind of
and plus didn't the audience for that show turned on that show in the middle of season 2, right?
Yeah, it kind of blew off the rails.
It wasn't ideal for sure.
I think when they brought in that either circus guy or freak show guy, it kind of went bad. But the first season was great, and I think that they did really good. Candace, did you win? Let's see. I think she put in backer number 11. So Candace, she won like 3 books last night, so she gets another
cleaning house.
She is.
So this is rigged.
This might be rigged. I don't know.
Yeah, right. I think this is rigged.
You might have to have like a huge truck deliver her package. So let me make a note here.
Huge drum with a giant box.
Yeah, right.
It's all of the time. She's getting in on the ground level of this thing. You know, we're building from. There's a whole new area.
If you folks can like and share that are out there in the audience and our creators, just to kind of get the word out, we would appreciate that. We're still, let me refresh our campaign screen. Yeah, we're still at $1,200. That's okay. 15 backers. I'm going to be on a few other shows later as well that I'll mention after, as we get closer to it.
Especially like just having cleared the holidays. That's pretty good. It's impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
thank you.
I think you'll hit the goal either tonight or tomorrow.
Appreciate it, buddy.
So that's clearing the holidays right after the apocalypse. As the world
right.
is-
Yeah.
We're trending. We're trending. Ray says the drawing was rigged.
Okay.
We're trying to keep it politically neutral.
Parody Pressgate.
Dumpster investigations.
You guys
Don, you Chinese. Have you ever accepted money from Chinese people?
Yeah.
My mom just gave me some money, so I think I did.
Usually, don't you get red envelopes during February?
Do I get more money like Chinese New Year? Or?
Yeah, the red envelopes.
Yeah, I do.
There you go.
There we go.
That makes you too guilty.
Did she give
I've
your?
been accepted money, but those are American bills. I think I'm going to clear.
No.
Well, we are at 10 o'clock now, so that means that, as I promised earlier, that we're going to do another auction for artwork, and so I have a piece by Michael here, which he did for us.
Oh, nice.
And we'll pull it up here.
I like Michael's work. I've seen a few
Thank you.
things. That's great, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, Michael,
It's only a flesh wound.
tell us the size of this, and
It's sorry, go ahead.
the floor is yours, my friend.
Okay, it's 8.5 by 11, done all in Sharpie. It's on a light cardstock, something I'd send through my printer. It's what I use when I draw at shows. Just like to think of silly things, and when you think of parody and whatnot, I'm like, oh, what's better than a Nightcrawler? With a knife.
Is it the Black Knight from Monty Python?
Yes. Which is why in the background I added the shrubbery, so there was.
Does he teleport his body parts?
I haven't gotten that far. I just wanted to draw.
You haven't thought the whole origin through yet?
No. I've actually used him in a bunch of jokes. I did a comic years ago that I was trying to sell and never got picked up to just to like comic magazines, and it was him and Darth Maul together, and they were both sitting there talking. I forget the gag line, but it was something like, what was it? Something like, it's only a flesh wound, Darth Maul, and the knight was saying, "Tell me about it." Just something silly and stupid. But 2 or 3 magazines I sent it to with the others that got rejected.
That's awesome.
I like to play with them.
So
especially Monty Python, it's the best.
Yeah.
Probably could do like a support group of all guys that were cut in half or something.
I put in the chat, guys. This is starting at $5. We have 3 minutes and 30 seconds left on the auction clock. So if anyone there that's a backer or not a backer, Ray's already bid $5. So
thank you, Ray.
We want to get this up. You can do increments of $1 if you want, not cents, please. Let's just keep it at $1. So if anyone wants to go up to 6 or blow the roof off it and go up to 20 or something, this is all to help the campaign. Our generous contributors are doing this out of the kindness of their hearts. We have quite a few from Dolphin, but I think I'm going to save those sketches for another show because we can, I don't want to make this just a plain auction show tonight or today. So anyways, Nightcrawler is currently at $5. We have 2 minutes and 33 seconds. Michael, can you tell us more about what you do? You have a regular Facebook show, correct?
Yes, I have a show. Well, I have an educational program where I travel to schools and libraries and stuff. It's called Get in Tune, TOON. And when we went into quarantine, I started doing it as an interview show as well. So I post how to draw videos on YouTube, but I also every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern, I interview usually indie artists and writers and animators and whatever, mostly in the indie world. and I try to promote their work.
Great.
Yeah.
And so if people want to follow you, you've got a Twitter handle. I think I posted.
Oh, I got Twitter. Actually, at Michael Gracia is my Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube page. So if you just go onto any of those and type in Michael Gracia, you'll find me there. And they all have links to my website, which is my name, michaelgracia.com. And I also have getintune.net. That's TOON.net. You can find me out about my educational stuff and watch the videos there too.
Great. Hey, do you or Michael or Dolphin, do you have that page from the What If that you're kind of working on in progress that you could share?
Hold on, I got all the rust. We don't have any of the inks yet.
Right.
I like the premise of it is like I wrote it like it was a what if story with the Watcher, but instead of the Watcher, we have the Poacher, and he's Elmer Fudd in his hunting outfit. So I tried to imagine a humongous Elmer Fudd in space, kind of narrating the way that the Watcher does. This is like the story that's in progress. Most of this book is already done and colored. We only have maybe about, basically Michael, Dolphin's story, and then Keith's story to complete it, which is only like 8 pages. So for the most part, if you folks are like skittish about backing this, please don't be. This book is well on its way to being published, and it's a labor of love. We just want to give back to the world and get people to laugh again. So it's not really about making money. It'd be great to break even, but we'd rather just kind of get this out there and show people what we're doing in 2021. I think the auction is over. Yeah. So it is. Let me go check our comments.
Candace. My money's on Candace.
Ray, you won.
Whoa,
nice.
Ray's one of my moderators here in the chat, who graciously gives his time to bring order to the chat. And I met him on another show, like a drawing stream, and he won a prize in the drawing show. And I said, give me your address and I'll send you some signed comic books. And he sends me his address. He lives in the same city as me.
He lives in Eureka? Really?
Eureka, which is really interesting. So small world.
Great.
Small world.
So I'm going to make a note. Did you guys find that image to share?
I did, but I'm having a little issue with getting it onto the proper screen. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm having trouble seeing my mouse on the screen.
So Ray, I'm going to make a note that you won Nightcrawler. And so we'll figure out whether he'll ship it directly to you, Ray, or I doxed you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Ray doesn't live in Eureka, California.
Oh, he doesn't. Uh-oh.
And neither do I.
Neither do you.
I can share the screen when you're ready, Doug.
Sorry.
Okay. So Michael, I am gonna take down this beautiful piece of artwork here.
Thank you.
And then so do I go to you, Michael? And
I'm gonna send it to you now, and then you're just gonna click add. Yeah.
All right.
So right here this is Photoshop. This is what I roughed everything out in here. So this is basically page 1, and I'll zoom in on what's it called here, Elmer for you. Magnifying tool, I rarely use it. Where is that? Oh, there it is. I'm used to key command, So, and it broke up on the screen. Of course. Of course.
Technology, man. Don't you love it?
Oh, let's see here. Let me see if I can fix this.
Michael, what was the name of your Watcher character?
He's called the Poacher.
Poacher. I did a parody of the Watcher in my first comic called Hero Envy, and we called him YouTube the Pointer. But it was spelled like U dash and then TOOB. and he like just pointed at events instead of watching them.
That's awesome. I think Dolphin, did you messaged me I think on Facebook a page in progress, right?
Yeah, I did. I designed what I wanted to do to keep it that watchery feel is to have a star field behind all 3 pages, and we'll have the panels free floating.
I shouldn't have moved it. Sorry.
So,
I like that. That'll look cool.
Right. It'll look very cosmic-y. You know, this is the poacher. He's telling you what's happening. So that's what I had. I designed that first, and then Michael and I are going to be we're going to be sharing our art duties. So once we have all those pieces together, I can just compose them onto this field, and then I'll call them up, and then I'm going to ship them off to Don so Don can give it to Kurt to lay out all because the lettering's done. So Kurt's more comfortable in laying it out once he sees the full complete page. So
I'm sorry, guys. Yes. I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm just trying to fix this. I don't know why I'm having this issue.
I actually found the starry one that.
Oh, did you?
Okay, yeah, put that one up. I can stop
sharing up real quick here. All right, so
I did like a star field in Photoshop. So I designed like a few stars. Some of them are glowing. Some of them. I mean, it's a black screen with like white dots. So.
Right
so that's the composition that we're going to go for. So the layers, so the panels will be done in a certain way. FUD is going to be very prominent in the foreground, and the panels will be sort of like as he's narrating. These things are, being shown. So and the other the same thing. All 3 panels, all 3 pages will have the star field with the panels on top of that.
Awesome, man. I like it.
So that's the look and feel that I want for this particular story.
That's great.
So, but Michael's really, helped me out with. I've been doing the coloring for the other pages, and I know this was something that Don wanted me to draw, and it's like I'm so swamped right now.
Yeah.
And Mike came to the rescue. Like he just put his cape on. He's like, "Fine, let me do this," and he swooped in and he laid out this great story. So I thank you very much, Mike.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So
thanks for suggesting.
Is it unusual to lay out in a red pencil versus a blue?
No, I mean I just choose different colors sometimes for layers so I can separate, but because every drawing is actually done on a different layer. This way I could control movement around and erase easier and not have to worry about interfering with other drawings that I've done. And so. You know what? I sometimes will draw an orange or blue or whatever color I'm in the mood for. A lot of times I'll choose like a purple color. I'm like I've said this before to you guys. I'm colorblind. Well, it's a shade blindness. I see colors, but when they start blending, I have trouble telling them apart. So I pull colors that will help me see the difference. So sometimes blue might be a little too light for me. And I'll go with a darker color like a purple and just, so I can tell the difference when I'm inking, really. That's what it is for.
Nice. So this is on a, did you lay this out like on a pad or did you draw right on?
This is all on the computer.
Okay.
Sometimes I do sketches and sometimes I do sketches on paper and I'll photograph them with my phone and airdrop them to my computer and then just kind of place them where I need. But on this one, I just kind of went in and each page took me about, I would say, an hour and a half to lay out. Because I have a template I use in Photoshop for the panels. So I have an 11 by 17 document bordered out to 10 by 15. And it's got an entire frame around it. And then I just have gutter spaces made for different heights and whatever. And I just turn them on, turn them off, duplicate, put them in different spots. So I can just kind of lay out the page the way I see it.
So do you use a separate program to draw?
Not usually. I mean, I switch between Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint. I love Clip Studio Paint because I feel if I want to do like a watercolor feel or I want to do like crayon or something, I feel their brushes are a bit better than Photoshop. but I've been using Photoshop since '95. I can use this in my sleep and close my. This is like second nature to me. So I kind of tend to go more towards Photoshop.
Great. Well, thank you, Michael. I'm really excited to see what the finished product will look like. After I get done with this drawing, for the comics, I'm gonna go to our campaign page, and then we'll kind of get a good overview of all the different artists. We got Bill's new cover. We've got some samples that Michael drew for like prototypes of what if the X-Men were Disney characters. And then you'll see some of Dolphin's coloring. Keith was kind enough to share the very first image back from his art team. So I don't have that campaign yet, but I probably will incorporate that as we get it colored. So it's a little bit after 10 my time. So the next auction will be next giveaway for our backers are for two old Parody Press books. One is Cable TV, which is the one that has our illustrious X-Farce leader in it, who had his own spin-off book. I think I told Bill when we first did X-Farce for Eclipse, I wanted him to model Cable TV after Ted Turner, because Ted Turner was kind of like the big, TV mogul at the time. So he kind of has that old Southern guy look, which is kind of funny because when they did the movies, that's kind of the way that Josh Brolin looked, kind of that old braggedy guy. And then another blast from the past, we did a spoof of Star Wars called Fart Wars, and this is Return of the One Eye, which is one of the variant covers. So this is a Star Wars spoof that Bill wrote and drew, and it's our common black and white. So you've got like a nice Princess Leia pin up there.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so these two books will be our next giveaway for our backers. So backers, our veterans that are in the chat, all you need to do is put in your backer number after I count down from 5, and you will get these included in your X-Farce order when we ship. We're looking at shipping probably in March, hoping that it'll be done before April 1st. And so that's our goal, is to get it to the printer and fulfilled. Keith, you do this all the time. It's probably quite laborious, right, to pack and ship hundreds of books from your house.
Oh yeah, I've only done part of it, and then for this campaign, I still have like 300 and something orders to do when I finally finish the next 3 issues of Mighty Mascot. So I'm not looking forward to that. But the way I do it though, Don, is like I commit to actually mailing out at least 10 to 15 packages a week. And then on Saturday, I'll sit and I'll pack them all up. And then I recommend if you do get a lot of orders, this is something Peter told me to do. If you have the money and if the campaign's really successful, get a Dymo. It's called Dymo printer, DYMO, and it prints off the labels for you using stamps. You can use stamps.com and sync it up. And that has been a lifesaver because you just slap the labels on and then you go and you just drop it off at the post office. No standing in line, do it all at home, and it's pretty easy.
That's what we got. You
have one. Okay.
Yeah, we have the Dymo, and the post office will pick up to your house if you give them.
Oh yeah, you could do it that way too. Me, it's just easier to just kind of run it out on like a Monday morning or something,
Yeah, I'm gonna show Keith after we do this drawing. I'm gonna show them some of your cool swag that you sent me.
Okay, yeah, I have. If you make me big, I can show you my Mighty Mascot cereal box too.
Oh, I will. I'll do that. So I'll do this cereal box drawing real quick, and so folks, at the count of from 5 down to 0, you can put in your number. So 5, 4. Oh, I'm all messed up. 5,
What are you drinking?
2, 1. Backers, please put in your number for this fabulous set of vintage parody press comics from our archive. And we also have old issues for sale. Candace, let me just make sure I refresh. And I think Candace is like, man, she's just like taking everything today. Good job, Candace. All right.
Wow.
So I'll make a note here. Cable, TV, and Fart Wars.
Fart's a funny word. That's all I can say. Fart is a funny word.
Funny word. All right.
Fart and poop.
I'm gonna see if I can make you big here, Keith. If I click on, oops, nope. That just minimized my screen. Hang on a second, buddy.
I kept on thinking of Apache Chief every time you said that.
I know, Chuck.
That will make you big.
Make you big. I know, Chuck. There you go.
All
So
right.
here's a copy of my collected edition of the Mighty Mascots 100-page giant that collects issues 1, 2, and 3. $5. It's all on newsprint, classic.
Cool.
Smells good. And then we got here's the cereal box.
Wow.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
This was part of the campaign. It's basically designed just like a regular cereal box. It's got the nutritional facts on the back, and basically it's all their stats.
Oh,
so it's
cool.
got 1,000 calories, and then it shows you, what the team, like what their abilities is. Like I think this says intelligence and strength and all that stuff.
Nice.
And then on the back you have a cutout pirate mask.
That is great.
And so, and then on the sides, it has just a lot of little Easter eggs and stuff. So
that is great.
So that was part of the campaign. I think I'm going to have some left over. So when I do the campaign for the next 3 issues, hopefully late spring, I'll probably have more of these to add on the campaign. So yeah, looks good. Cover art's by Frankie Washington. I don't know if you guys know him.
Beautiful.
He's a local guy up here, and he's Rhode Island. He lives, and I'm up in Massachusetts. So doxing myself, but yeah, it's that was a fun thing to design.
It's great.
That's awesome.
It's a fun project you guys are working on.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what those comics about, it's like they're a bunch of cereal mascots, and they were brought to life by a 3D printing accident, and they basically fight crime. But I treat it like the tone of it's very like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like the Eastman and Laird stuff, where it's like this totally absurd concept, but I treat it like seriously, like they go and they fight crime basically. So it's a lot of fun to write. I write it like old school, like an 80s comic,
That's cool.
So Candace in the chat says, my son got Mighty Mascots for his birthday, and
cool.
Pete, your publisher, even wrote a personal message for him. He loves it.
Oh, thanks, Candace. That's awesome to hear. Thank you very much for picking it up. And that's awesome about Pete doing that. Really good.
Pete is so cool. He's a nice guy.
He is. He's legit an awesome guy.
Hey, we have a new guest in our green room. Actually, I don't know if that's really green, Ted. It looks more like we'll see here. But we have Ted Hellard, who is one of our artists. Hey, Ted.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Ted.
See us? Hey, nice to see you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you doing, Don?
Great. Ted is Ted, you have to tell our audience a little bit about what your background is and so forth. We're gonna probably preview the campaign on Indiegogo. So your artwork, I know, is in that campaign, and you got to work with Mike Barron. Were you familiar with Mike at all before you?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, very familiar.
Nice.
I have some of his comics in my private collection, so it's good stuff.
Good. So it's 10:30 would be our next sketch auction, which is going to be a 5-minute sketch auction. Bill, I think we're up to you for the next sketch. So do you want to pull out either one of those 2 trading cards that we talked about, and we'll kind of
Since we already had a Tangerine piece listed, I'll pull up a different character. So we did 2 sample cards for, and I can't pull it up on my screen because my Wi-Fi died, so I'm actually down in my room. So I got to do this like totally Puerto Rican style. Just hold it up to the camera. You can see that's Swarm of the X-Cons.
Yeah. That's
and
awesome.
I just drew these because these were samples. We don't have card stock, so I just have my own house stock that I draw when I do trading, when I do sketch cards for people. So that's
sweet.
and it'll come in a card sleeve. So
even a little protective holder there as well. So that auction will start after we look at the X-Farce. And it only be at $5 starting bid for 5 minutes. So when we come back to the to the group chat, we'll do that. So I'm going to go ahead and share our campaign screen, guys. So let me just refresh here, see if we've got any other backers since this morning. No, we're still at 12:02. I gotta put on my Jerry Lewis muscular dystrophy telephone here. I got dogs to feed, and my wife needs new shoes. So, anyways, here's Bill's newly done cover from 2020, recreating X-Farce from old Eclipse book, and then Bill colored this as well. And if you want to buy the original artwork for this, we have it in pencil form, and it's part of our campaign. So far, Bill, your cover is selling the best. We have 8 sold in our first, we're not even, I think I started the campaign last night around 8 p.m. So we're about halfway through the first day. So far, your cover is doing really well. In fact, I haven't sold any other covers but yours. So that's a testament to your popularity, my friend.
It's beautiful.
I appreciate you saying that, but just the fact that it's an homage of the original cover. Like if you see the original cover, and we just redrew it. It's like, look, I got better since then. So it's like, it was kind of nice to call that. It was nice to pay homage because that was my first paying gig, period.
Yeah.
And it was because of Bob Hannon, and it was because of you that I got that gig, and I've been drawing comics full time ever since. So thank you, because that's a lifetime of employment and doing something that I like to do, and it's a very important issue for me. So, I'm glad that people like me.
How old were you when you got that gig in '92?
I think I was 7. Maybe I was 22.
Okay. And then you were working at SeaWorld doing.
I just moved. Doing caricatures. Yeah, we lived in Virginia Beach first. I moved to San Diego in '91, and that's when I did my first San Diego Comic-Con. Never missed a year since, except for COVID, blanks COVID. And we met. But I was drawing caricatures at SeaWorld and at the San Diego Zoo for, I think SeaWorld for like 3 years, and San Diego Zoo I did that for a couple of years.
Nice.
But once we started working on books, I couldn't split up a day between doing both those things. So. But comics was my first love anyway, so that's obviously that's a win-win. So.
Right. Cool, bud. Thank you for sharing that. Just kind of scrolling on down. This is one of a page that shows Dolphin's colors on a Mark Lewis, Kurt Hathaway black and white page, and so. This was from the original X-Cons, the very first parody press book that we did on our own, which was called The Unfunny X-Cons. And so in that book, we had 3 different X-Men stories. And so in X-Farce Reloaded, this is the only material that we're importing from that book to be digitally remastered. So we asked Dolphin to go with kind of more of the 60s muted color palette to make it look like it was, Jack Kirby Stanley 1963. And then it was your idea, right, Del, to kind of make it look
dingy.
What's that?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, dingy. Like distress the pages on purpose. Like
it's yellow. What I did was that I did a multiply layer with it's a parchment piece of parchment, and exactly. I cut it to like 70%. So it has that it's been in your basement for 30 years and you're just pulling it out right now. So
thank you. Super cool. I don't think I've seen anybody do that really. I don't pick up a lot of comics in the stores, but to me that was kind of a novel idea to make this 10-page story. It'll probably be the first story in the book. I think chronologically I want to have the very first X-Men be the origin story, and then probably towards the back of the book would be Keith's story, which brings us to modern age X-Men.
Modern time, right?
Yeah. So that's a great example of Dolphin's work on that book. And then X-Farce is the majority of the book, which is the 21-page Eclipse black and white story, but now colored by Dolphin. And Bill, did Bob Hannon, did he do most of the inks or pencils? How did you guys kind of split the chores up?
Well, the way that was split up, and actually originally what happened was Bob worked with me at SeaWorld drawing caricatures, and he used to always tell me that he knows people in comics, which I always thought was awesome. Somebody in comics. And so I was like, well, why don't you call those people? Get a job, get a thing, get a book. So I kind of badgered him a little bit, but he did, and he did. So it was the editor's name is Valerie, right?
Valerie Jones.
Valerie, what? Yeah. So he called up. He actually got the job, but the deadline was coming up too quick for him to do everything all together. So what he did was he brought me on as the penciler, and he did all of the inks. So it was this week marathon at their apartment in San Diego. It was we were basically pulling 24-hour days, penciling and inking. It's as I was penciling, I was actually throwing him pages, and he was inking, and we were just there for the long haul until we got everything done. Yeah,
assembly line.
So no. Yeah, it was an assembly line. Nobody saw us for a week and a half. It was they were worried.
So you guys probably food. You guys probably kind of smelled like cesspool in that.
No, we looked. Yeah. That's the proper shade of green that came out of that apartment.
Nobody bathed at all.
But we're young. We're just this is our first gig. We want to make sure we do a good job, get it done on in time for printing, so that we could possibly get more jobs. So yeah, it was awesome. It was great, but it was stressful, and at the same time, and of course, we did 3 issues of stuff for Eclipse. After that, we did 3 issues altogether, and that's when we started Parody Press.
Great, thanks, bud. I like.
And it wasn't for John starting Parody Press. It was we'd be doing nothing.
Oh, I think you would have landed on your feet, Bill. I think you would have found some other place.
I would have landed on my side, and it would have hurt.
Oh my God!
I like Dolphin how you I mentioned earlier how you kind of made it look like this pungent green gas emanating from Cesspool's vicinity, and you have some really creative dirt splatters on his face.
Oh, it's dirt, do you?
Is it poo-poo?
It's dirt. It's dirt. Too bad it's not a scratch and sniff issue. If you scratch the surface, you could smell what he said. Would have been cool just to have scratch. This bush stinks, I guess.
Yeah.
who would have known that Deadpool would be such the phenomenon he is? I mean, back in '92, he was just kind of this backup character on the New Mutant.
It's like a Spider-Man knockoff, right, at the time?
Pretty much. I mean, well, I mean,
think of it, yeah.
Apparently, he was supposed to be Deathstroke.
Right. Yeah.
So it was Rob Liefeld pitching it to, I forget who the writer was. I think Fabian, and Fabian's like, "This is Deathpool," and he goes, "Okay, but we're still going to use him, right?" It's like, "Yeah, sure. Still use him." Because his name is Wilson Wade. Of course, you got not Wilson Wade. Wilson Wade
Slade.
is
Slade Wilson. Slade Wilson.
Slade Wilson. He's Wade Wilson, right? So that's the name. So sorry, I don't read that.
Yeah,
but
I really.
It's fun.
Ted, are you still?
I have to come up with a character called just Wink.
What was that? I'm sorry, Bill. I lost you.
Huh? What's that? Who? What?
What? Where? How?
Oh no! I was just saying this. Like I want to come up with a character, and his name would be just Wayne Bruce, and it's like nobody will know where I get that concept from. But he'd be awesome. This dude named Wayne. He's
Wayne
Bruce.
Bruce.
Things at night.
Ted, tell us about this page we're looking at right here. This is inked and penciled by Ted, lettered by Kurt Hathaway, our longtime Parody Press letterer supreme, and then Dolphin. You got to color this using a modern day palette. But Ted, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you thought about drawing this story?
Oh, well, this is a lot of fun. To me, one of the exciting things about approaching any kind of sequential art project is like, it's got to be fun to do, and so right away, it was engaging and kind of silly. It had a lot of bounce to it, which I really like, in kind of doing this sort of thing. It kind of speaks to my style, or at least this style, just doing one of more fun comics. But I'm essentially an art instructor. I teach here in Southern Oregon. I teach at SOU and also at RCC. And I teach things like drawing, figure drawing, but also I'm lucky enough to teach some comics classes as well, which is really exciting for me, and teaching it from the aspect of visual storytelling. But yeah, approaching this project, it was just a lot of fun. I was really excited. You gave me a chance to do a couple pages. I like kind of the silliness of the storyline and the silliness of the characters. Coming up with the Spoon character was great. To me, whenever I do something like this, if I'm itching to do more, like I wanted to work with these characters more, usually that's a really good sign for me that it resonated for me. So it was a lot of fun to do.
Nice. Who are some of your influences? Like in
man,
just
it just goes on and on.
Adam Hughes. Do I see some Adam Hughes in your work?
I was the most disgusting Adam Hughes ripoff for so many years, you guys. It was so gross. You guys know what I'm talking about. You have like these heroes that you adhere to, and then you realize, oh man, I'm just a really, really poor imitation of this artist. So, but there's still some of that shows up in my work sometimes. But I just love Frank Cho. I love his ability to draw so well. His draftsmanship is so high. But just so many people that I enjoy, from just the huge spectrum. I love Mike Mignola for his graphic storytelling, and there's just so many people on my list, my art heroes. But yeah, and just the spectrum of type of work too. From horror to superhero to more modern storytelling vehicles. So all over the place.
Hey Ted, I didn't get a chance to ask you where people get a hold of you, but I do have your email. Is that something I can post if people want to contact you for maybe commissions, or if you're a freelancer? Sure. Are you looking for work now, or are you pretty busy?
Yeah, I still do some freelance illustrations, and I do some comic art now and then too. I have a pretty busy teaching schedule, but I try to dovetail some of this stuff into my schedule, and it's really fun to do. So yeah, if anybody's interested in my work,
you were right on time with I was really impressed by your turnaround, and that's hard to do when you're juggling different vocations.
Yeah, I had a busy term last term too, so it was but that's one thing I preach to my students, man. You got to nail your deadlines. You got to do the thing you said you were going to do, and so that's key for me. And I talk about aspiring creatives, that one of the biggest things, I'm sure you guys can all speak to that. That if you're an aspiring creative, the number one thing you have to do is you got to hit your deadline. You have to do the thing you said you were going to do.
Yeah, it's true. I went to 1 year at the Joe Kubert School, and that was the number one thing that every teacher hammered into you was the deadline stuff.
Yeah, and just working with students, and just it starts with just trying to get them turn their homework in, turn their projects in, because it's as you guys know, the professional world isn't going to have very much tolerance for that. All you got to do is drop one deadline, and chances are that publisher or that company isn't going to use you again. So it's so important. Don, I just want to tell you, by the way, a friend of mine here owns a comic store in the Rogue Valley, and they just bought a large collection of stuff in the 90s, and there was so much parody press stuff in there, and it was so cool to see. Like, I have a stack of them. I haven't got a chance to get through them yet, but whoever this person was, they loved parody press. They had so much stuff. So, and I got to grab some of it. So it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. Can I put your Gmail up there on the screen to share? Okay. So if you fans out there are interested in communicating with Ted, whether you have a commission you want him to do, or just you do. I mean, you're a traditionally trained artist. You do do you do paintings as well, Ted? And
not much painting, but I do an awful lot of just drawing. I'm really interested in the figure, doing portrait work, and I teach a lot of that as well. So yeah, I do a lot of traditional art too.
Great. All right, Ted. So cool to see you, buddy.
Thanks for having me, you guys. It's great to chime in.
Funny story is that Ted grew up with my brother-in-law in a nearby town, and you guys were like in a band together, right? You're a drummer, correct?
I am a drummer. I'm all those cliches.
So then Ted,
not to do.
I had heard from my brother-in-law that you gotta look at this guy Ted, my friend Ted's comic book work, and he's really good, and he's heard about your stuff, and so I don't think I ever was able to connect with you while you were still in Northern California, but then just over the years our paths crossed, and Ted's sister is actually a well-known realtor in Northern California, and so I kind of knew his sister more so than I knew Ted. But I just thought it was cool that I happened to see Ted's current work. Is your book coming out, Ted? The Exquisite Corpse?
Yeah. The Exquisite Corpse, yeah, it's coming out. It should be, when it comes back from the publisher, it should be out in the next 3 or 4 weeks. And it's just a silly romp. It's absolutely fun.
Is there some place we can get it?
I don't know yet. All my plans got upended because of COVID, how I was going to release it and what I was going to do. So I've had to kind of rethink how I'm going to distribute the book and how I'm going to get it out there. So I really don't know yet. So it's right now I'm just concentrating on getting it back from the publisher and getting into my local shops. And I'll probably create some forum online where the people can access the book. But I just don't know yet. I'm totally completely unprepared for that question. So
is it full color?
No, it's black and white. The cover's color, but it's black and white.
Okay. It looks really nice. I saw it on the blog page, and if you do get a chance to mark, if you start selling copies, let me know, and I'll definitely put the word out on our social media, because we want to.
Hey, I just want to say this too, Don. That I think you know this, but I used to come into your store all the time when it was in Eureka, Comic Castle, and that was like just such a huge touchstone for me, because I'd go in there and be like, this guy makes comics, like it was like. It just like Don was like, for anybody who was into comics in the Humboldt area, Don was like, he was the guy. It was a big deal. I'm not just trying to just shovel, but it really was like to go into the store and be like, that's Don Chin, man. So you're a big deal down there, man, to us aspiring comic people.
I put my pants on one leg at a time. Just like
no, we didn't believe
that. Yeah, that was kind of weird, because I owned this comic book store that I started when I was in college. I kind of started it out of my parents' house, and then it got too big, so I moved it downtown in Eureka. And at the same time, I was still trying to get my comic book career going. So it happened that while I owned the comic book store, Eclipse picked up the hamsters. So I was doing my comic book with the hamsters, and then I was also still running the store. And it just got to the point where publishing was my passion and creating. So I had a partner in the comic book store, and he basically took the store over. And then we basically, my wife and I just kind of made the push to be full-time comic book publishers, and that's kind of how Parody Press got started. But I do have a soft spot in my heart for retailers, and because I know what it's like to have stores. It saddens me that so many are closing or just having, to kind of hunker down during COVID, because the walk-in traffic is what drives, most of your sales in comics. So, we've got some people in the chat. My friend RJ from Critical Blast. X-Farce!
Battle cry.
Thank you, RJ. RJ has a daily streaming show, and I think I'm scheduled to go on it like this Tuesday and shoot the bull with him for like an hour about X-Farce. So I'll post the link in our social media for that appearance. It's going to be a whirlwind. I think hopefully my voice will hold up, because I've got like 2 or 3 other streams to go on today. But this has gone really smoothly thanks to you guys. It's so much harder when you're just the single talking head trying to keep people's attention. With you guys here, I can kind of ask you questions. But I'm kind of running late on the 10:30 drawing, so I'm going to do kind of consolidate. So what I'll do is I'll have the auction start for Bill's Swarm right now. Bill, you want to hold that up again? Your Swarm trading card.
I'm right here.
Hold up the Swarm.
I'll hold it up to the thing.
So I'm starting the timer right now.
I'm being a little bit low tech just because
I'm sorry, you're breaking up, Bill. We see your image. Yeah, there we go. There's a little glare, but that's fine. So
okay,
the bidding.
I'm angling it because the glare.
Okay, that looks good. So the bidding on this trade card starts at $5, and shipping will be minimal. I'll throw in shipping since it's not an 8.5 by 11 piece that has to be, enforced with cardboard and stuff. The nice thing about trading cards is you can slip them in like a standard, standard stamped envelope and get it to the people. So this is actually a sample. If you folks are curious, if you buy our Colossal Executive box, which I'll go back to in just a minute, you'll actually get a trading card like this that's inked and signed by Bill as part of the package. So it's a $200 tier. If you haven't guessed it, that's our take on Storm from the X-Men, but we made her a bee, so she's Swarm. Candace has already bid $10 on that, which is great. If anyone else wants to bid, just put your increment down there, and in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, we will end this auction and then determine a winner. I think I had one more conflict backing thing to give away as well, so I'll probably do that and get this over with, like kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So for our backers to our campaign, I'm going to be giving these 2 books away. We have The Skunk, which is another Bill Mouse masterpiece. That's kind of like, if you like The Tick, the skunk is a hero who his power is hurricane force flatulence. And then, another book that we did back in the 90s was Trek Teens. Gosh, this is so weird, just trying to hold this up the right way. Trek Teens is what if you had Kirk, Spock, and McCoy in high school. And it's pretty funny. Like, they go to Federation High. Spock is kind of like the loner James Dean type, and Kirk is the jock. And so these 2 books are going to be free to our backers in just a few moments. I'm going to do a countdown. So if you're a backer, you can put down your backer number. If you're not a backer yet, just go to xfarce.com, make a purchase, and you'll be given a backer number. And I'll be doing these streams throughout our campaign, where I'll be giving away vintage comic books, Dolphin has been kind enough to give me a good amount of sketches to kind of get the interest up on the campaign. So, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the countdown on the comic books right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So anybody that wants to get those comics, just put your number in. Holy smokes. Bill, your sketch card is up to $36.
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice.
Awesome. And then on the back of it, it's got Bill's custom contact info, right, Bill? You show us the back.
Yeah, it's just my stock house cards that I have.
Great.
Just in the studio. So yeah, just contact stuff in a bag and just a little thing, so you know where the card came from.
Thank you, Bill. So 55 seconds left. Candace, who graciously has been supporting our campaign, you put down your backer number, and so you again. I think, did you win everything today? I think she did.
She won the internet.
I think she won like 8 comics today. So congratulations, Candace. We've got a tier actually on our campaign for 5 back issues of Parody Press books that are signed and out of print for $75. So if you kind of use that monetary exchange, you know, she's making like $75 every show. So congratulations, Candace. You deserve it. I appreciate your support. 7 seconds left.
Yeah, thank you.
We have somebody named Chet. Chet, you are currently the high bidder, and there you go. That's the end of the auction on Bill's card. So, Chet. Oh, Candace snuck in with the $50 winning bid.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
Thank you, Candace. I have your contact information.
Thank you, Candace.
Bill, if you get down on your luck, we'll just have to do these streams and sell your cards. And
how about Bill?
If you need like a kidney transplant or something, I think we found a way to get you some cash.
Yeah, I already had to sell my gallbladder on eBay, so I've already used that money up.
So, Candace, congratulations for winning. She says, thank you, Bill. My husband will love this.
Thank you, Candace. That's awesome.
It's a gift.
I really appreciate that. That's awesome. I'm glad that he's gonna like that. That's gonna be awesome. Thank you.
She's cleaning the house.
We have the back to the campaign page, which I'll share again. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up I'm gonna try to wrap this up by around 11. I know you guys have things to do or just to relax on your Sunday. She says, my kids are all cheering me on. Bye, Mom.
Making it rain.
So let's just go back.
Do it.
Here real quick is Michael's colored kind of her prototype pieces for what if mutants worked for like Disney.
That's great.
So you've got Ducklops and Mouserine.
The Beagle Sentinels are spot on.
Kurt Hathaway, who couldn't make the show, I invited him, but he says I'm way too bogged down with work. So we kind of did a throwback to John Byrne's Alpha Flight issue, which I think he did several pages with no artwork at all. I think it was like Alpha Flight in the middle of a Canadian snowstorm. So in this, in a 3-page take on I have X-Cons, Snowblind, right? I have the X-Cons meeting the Infringers in Mission Antarctica. So you have to just kind of use your imagination. Like, what if the Avengers and the X-Men met each other in the middle of a snowstorm?
I actually had an assignment at Kubert School to do the same exact thing. It was a lettering assignment.
Keith, you're a professional letterer as well. I forgot to tell people.
Yes.
That. So if you folks need any lettering done, I mean, it's hard to find letterers.
Yeah, I'm pretty reasonable. I usually do $10 a page, and then if you need logos and stuff, we could talk more on that. But usually, like $10 a page is my standard fee. I don't take on a lot of jobs, but I do get I do get them here and there. They kind of fall into my lap. But if anyone's looking for a letterer, definitely reach out to me.
Thank you, Keith. Awesome.
Yeah.
He's a man of many talents, that Keith Gleason.
I like to letter. I don't know why. A lot of people hate it. I find it, to me, it's like editing a movie. Like you're putting like that finishing touch on the final product, you know?
Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard thing to do. Here's the second variant cover by Mark Lewis. And it's like a throwback to the 60s original Lee and Kirby X-Men. Even though we have this as issue number 1, it's more of a homage to X-Men number 4, which is where Magneto creates the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. But instead of that, we have the Brotherhood of Vile Misfits. And so if you guys haven't guessed, Magneto is like the Planters Peanut gone bad peanut mascot. And hey, we have to do a crossover, Keith. Magneto versus the Mighty Mascot.
Yeah, that would be good. Actually, that would work.
Anyways, Magneto has like surrounded by his baddies, including, instead of the toad, we have the toe, right here in the corner. And then instead of Mastermind, it's Hamstermind, because he's got,
brilliant.
Yeah, he's got a pet hamster in his head. And then over here on the right, instead of Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch, we have Quacksilver and the Scarlet Wrench. And Mark is he actually, after he worked for Parody Press in the 90s, he did some stuff for Image. He did some throwback like 1940s style comics with Gary Carlson, and it was called the Big Bang series. So you can still find those online, but Mark was, once Gary saw Mark's retro style, I think he thought that would be a good fit for him to go on board with what Gary was doing. And so, yeah, this is sweet because he does this, this aged, tattered looking cover effect on it. So it looks like it's just like Dolphin's coloring on the inside. It looks like something that has been in your attic for like 50 years.
It's very, very realistic looking stress to it.
Yep.
Yeah, he does all the type design. He even duplicated the comics code.
I think that's my favorite of all the covers, that and the Newt Mutants one.
So we have this layout sketch available, I think, on one of our tiers here. So if you actually wanted to own the 8.5 by 11 sketch art along with the comic book that it comes in, that's priced at $3 1/4. And then we have a few original pages that Mark Lewis did back in the 90s with Kurt Hathaway for sale. And now that you mentioned the Newt Mutants, I'll go to that one. So Thad Rhodes, who's also a East Coast artist, did a story in our book called The Newt Mutants that I wrote, and this is the back cover for the book. And he works really big, right, Bill? Like 22 by 30 or something like that.
Well, it all depends. Right now, like a piece like this, where he's doing most of that digitally. He's painting digitally, or he's taking drawings that he does on separate paper, and he's tossing that in the computer and then doing a bunch of digital work on top of that. So it's mostly digital. What he used to do before in the old days, it was all like illustration board, airbrush, color pencil, like literally like 20 by 22 or 30 by 40. A lot of the pieces he was doing were like real big like that.
Yeah.
But with the digital stuff, it's different.
I think I told him that it would be ideal if he did the work for us that we want the physical piece to, you know, I want to not just buy the rights to the artwork, but I want to actually buy the physical pieces. So he's making not just this cover available, but the interior pages. So he told me that the originals run like here I described it, 19 by 30. So it's quite a bit bigger than your typical comic book page. And so I don't have these physically.
Yeah. It's much.
Sorry, Bill.
Airbrushing. He likes the work. Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, if someone wants to buy Thad's original artwork, that's also on our tier. I think we actually have that color piece on the site for $1,000. The interior pages are a little less than that, but we'll post those as we get them from Thad. He's still working on the interior story for us, but I kind of wanted, before we close out before we close out the stream, I wanted to mention kind of the tier that I think is the funnest one. If you've got the funds, we've got the Colossal Executive Box. And if you folks go to our website, which is xfarce.com, this is one of the things you can buy. And for $200, you'll get all 3 variant covers, one by Bill, the one that we just showed by Mark Lewis, and one that's still to come from Rob Willis, who's a well-known independent artist. I'm hoping he'll have something to me this weekend that I could plug in other than showing him with his dog. Besides the 3 signed comics, you'll get this really cool little metal lunchbox that has the X-Farce team on it. And then on top of that, you'll get a ceramic mug with the X-Farce cover that you can actually fits in the lunchbox. I was pricing out thermoses, but they're a little too pricey. And then last but not least, you'll get a wonderful sketch card, very similar to like the size that we just auctioned for Swarm. Here's a sample of Wolverine, which I think we'll probably do an auction for Wolverine on a different show. So we'll have you back, my friend. Is that all right? I'd like to have a lot of you guys back again.
Sure.
Okay.
So anyways, so you get all 6 items that you see here for $200, and like I said, they're signed, and then any stretch goals that we meet along the way. I'll kind of show you what our stretch goals are. So if we hit 15,000, all backers will get a X-Farce color magnet, 25,000 holographic sticker. We just added this one last night. Beard Zerker is our next parody press project, which Bill's going to be working on after he finishes this deadline. We're gonna throw in a Beard Zerker color poster, and then 50,000 is the cesspool whoopee cushion. And if by a miracle, we hit 75 and 100,000, we'll figure out things to give away that people will be excited about. So, and here's a little image of Michael that he drew of Professor. We call him Professor Quacks. Good job, Michael. All right, so let me go back out to our esteemed guests. I don't think I have any other auctions right now. I think I'm going to end it on this note. Do you guys have any closing thoughts that you'd like to ask before we leave? I'll go around the circle here according to what I see on the screen. Michael, thank you for joining us, my friend.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for having me.
I'll give you guys a little plug here as we say goodbye. So if you want to see Michael's show, just go to facebook.com/getintuned.net. What days do you normally broadcast, Michael?
I broadcast every Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern, where I do my interviews. And on Saturdays now, I'm also doing something I call Storytelling Saturdays, where I talk about different types of storytelling. I taught storytelling for 16 years out of college, and it's my favorite thing to do and favorite thing to talk about. My last one that just this past Saturday was on the difference between American comics and manga and their storytelling.
Nice. Appreciate it, Michael. So we're looking forward to your story with Dolphin, and thank you for all your support, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me work on this. It's my pleasure.
You're welcome, my friend. Mr. Hellard, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
What would you like to, anything you'd like to say before we go home today?
Yeah, just thanks for having me on. It's great to see what you guys are doing to promote the book. I think it's great stuff, and I hope everybody picks it up. You know, I've always been a fan of the Parody Press work, and I think this is no exception. I think it's great stuff. So, and yeah, I'll send you out information about my own book, Exquisite Corpse, once I have more specifics about what I'm doing with it. And thanks for letting me come on.
You're welcome. Thanks, Ted. I appreciate you, bro. Okay, Mr. Gleason, up in the right box. Let me hide little Ted's contact info. One thing I didn't mention, Keith, is you have a YouTube show as well. So I'm gonna post that link there. And
oh yeah, thanks.
I'm gonna make you big here, my friend.
Yeah, like Don mentioned, Comics Relay. Much like Mike, we do interviews with all kinds of indie creators. So if any of you guys have anyone in the chat, anyone on the show has anything to promote, you know, reach out to me. We do usually an hour interview and we get into your past and your origins, and then, you know, we talk about the campaign you're running or whatever you want to promote. So definitely reach out to me. Also, if you want to get anything Mighty Mascots, my website, recklesssidekick.com or heroenvy.com, they both go to the same place. Or you can go to Alterna Comics and purchase mascot stuff from there as well. And I just want to say, Don, I was excited when you reached out to me to be part of this project, and I hope everyone enjoys our story once it goes in there.
Well, I think the preview looks great from your two guys back there. I can't wait. It's very kind of a manga-esque, but not quite. You know, that type of.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between. I like it. I liked it because it looks realistic, but it's also cartoony at the same time, which I really dig about it, you know, and I think it really works for my book as well, you know.
Thanks, Keith. I really am excited, and I'm a backer for your campaign. I can't wait to see your next issues. My friend Bill Mouse, I'm going to make you my center guy. Hey, Bill, thanks for coming, my friend.
Hi, Don. Thanks for having me. It's super cool to hang out with you guys, talk about this kind of stuff. We don't have comic book conventions we can go to right now to actually meet each other and see each other. So I'm glad we live in a time where we can do this. This is pretty awesome.
It is. Thank you, my friend. And so if you folks are wanting to back Bill's Mirror X books or have him commission you your piece of your imagination, you can visit him on his website and then talk to Bill directly with what your request is. And so let's go back out here. Dolphin, thanks for being here for the full duration along with Michael.
Thank you again for inviting me, and thank you again for letting me be part of the project. It was fun. Still not over. 3 more pages from me and Mike. But it's great fun. Thank you again for considering me and for having me and being involved in the project.
Thank you, Dolphin. I appreciate it. So if you want to see Dolphin's website, there I'm posting it there on the screen, and then you can mention the comic gift one. What's the website again?
It's customcomicgifts.com. It's basically doing caricatures of you as your favorite hero. It could be made as a gift. I can have it put onto a mug or pillows or a poster, or it's pretty much everything's done digitally, and I can give you a high-res file, and it's basically for you to use for whatever reason. You can take it to a custom printing place, and they can put the image onto whatever you want me to format the image to be.
What's your typical turnaround time? Is it pretty quick?
If it's a very simple design, it'd probably be taking less than a week. So it's just getting it done. But if it's something a little more complicated, like if you want your whole family to be the Avengers, then that's going to take me a while to do.
we want the family portrait to be Secret Wars, right? And
oh well, that would drive me bonkers, and I would just remove the website immediately. No, I mean it will. I mean, if it's more characters than just like one or two, they would probably take me more than a week to work on. So, but it's a cool little gift thing to have. Like I did one that was for a guy who a person's father was a big Star Wars fan, so I did him as Darth Vader, and it was a mug, and it says "Who's your daddy?" So it's just really, we try to do tongue in cheek. So I usually try to brainstorm with the client, like how would you want this to be very personal to the person who I'm drawing, and we would do stuff like that.
Great. So well, thank you, Del, for coming today, my friend. So I'm gonna close this out. I'm probably just gonna play our trailer and thank everybody in the audience that hung in with us, and wherever you're at, I hope you're having a safe, happy New Year. Please get the word out about the book. You can share it on social media. I'm going to be doing another interview at 12 noon with the Assassins Guild, I think is what it's called. It's a YouTube channel by Mark Polton, who's the creator of Graveyard Shift and US Assassin. So I got to go rehydrate and use the bathroom and get some lunch. And, I'll be back on it again.
Go get the Gatorade.
Yeah. So if you folks are out there and you want to know what's happening, just sign up to either our website or our Twitter, YouTube channel, and you'll be in the know of everything X-Farce. Thank you, folks, for making this a great launch. I had a lot of fun with you guys too. And so until next time, God bless, and we'll talk to you later. And I'm going to close this out with a little video.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, nice seeing you guys.
Awesome. See you guys.
My name is Professor Baldi, and I run a school for juvenile delinquents. But not just any delinquents. Mine are specially gifted. You might even call them mutants. Trust a few reformed ex-cons. Tangerine.
Am I the apple of your eye, Bubba?
Jeannie Gray. Beastie Boy.
Oh, everybody dance now.
Snow Cone.
Is it hot in here, or is it just me?
And their friends from X-Farce. Cable TV.
Eat remote control, frog face.
Garfarel. Meow. Dominoes.
This book has just the right amount of cheese.
And introducing the Newt Mutants. Beware the rest. Magneto. Mistress Piggy. And not at all breaking the fourth wall. Cesspool. Now, Heritage Press Comics is back with X-Farce Reloaded #1. Don't miss this extraordinary comics extravaganza with 7 full-color stories of marvelous mutant mayhem. Back this book today for awesome variant covers and original artwork tiers. 48 pages of action and hilarious hijinks by some of comics' funniest talents. Heritage Press, making the world laugh again. Only on Indiegogo.